guys did some video work this morning. Is there anything you could learn from what went on offensively yesterday, or was it just a matter of the perfect storm of just fatigue? And
I think we missed a lot of shots yesterday. I think a lot of guys, would miss the shots that they normally make. At the end of the day, we just played a bad game.
Well, there was a few stories that referred your interview to Marshawn Lynch-like. Do you think that's a fair comparison?
No, but people going to have their own opinions about anything they want. So at the end of the day, that's how I felt yesterday. The questions that were asked yesterday basically deserved the answer of a bad game. We had a bad game.
Do you feel that, in hindsight, in an interview like that where you don't really want to talk to us and it's a tough conversation to have when there's a bad game, that it should have been handled differently in your reaction?
I think I handled it perfectly, to be honest, because of the questions that were asked. The questions that were asked to me was, how do we fix the offense? It was a bad game. About the defense, it was a bad game. And about my injury, it was, overall bad game because of, an injury.
Kyle, I think the one that everybody was wondering about was your injury. You had come out of the game.
Yeah.
You didn't really get a chance to answer that last night. What did happen, and what?
Just a little soreness, but that's about it. Nothing major. Nothing that will keep me out.
And was it your hamstring or was it your finger?
It was a few different things, but it's an overall fatigue of the NBA season. You're going to have little nicks and bumps and bruises.
I hate to beat a dead horse here, but I can go back to the well.
Go ahead. We can have fun with this all day.
Okay, good. And, in all fairness, as a reporter, it's not an easy interview to do. And when we come to you after a loss, we're not excited to ask you those types of questions. But we also have a job to do. And,
of course.
And you're a leader, and you are the leader of this team and an all-star. And I guess sometimes people just expect you to answer them a little bit more fuller and with a bit more explanation, especially on the third one when it was about your injury. And I was just, you would not have done that any differently.
No, because of the questions that were asked me last night deserved the answer that I felt was appropriate for that time. And it was nothing more, nothing less. If you go out there and you say you have a bad day, you have a bad day. And we had a bad game. And I don't think there's anything that you can go into details and insight on, oh, yeah, you did that. No, we had an overall bad game.
Does the process of dealing with us sometimes, can it be wearing? Can it wear on you?
Is this all because of Marshawn Lynch? Jesus Christ. It's what we do. We get paid to play basketball, to handle the media the correct way, to answer questions. And, sometimes if the question is deserving of a certain answer, then that's the answer that you should be given. If you go out there and you ask me a question, I'm going to give you the truth, and I'm going to give you how I feel, like I've always done.
I guess it's just not a real reflection of you. Especially in the last 2 years, you've stood up to everything and answered things really well. And it's not something that we were prepared for. And I guess given the day and the week that it just happened.
And I wasn't prepared for a bad game. It is what it is. Sometimes you gotta adapt. In certain situations, the question that were asked me last night, I thought it was very fair answers that I gave. I don't hide or duck or avoid any questions. I'll answer anything. And at those the questions that were asked me, basically, I think we had a bad game. You asked about the offense, defense, and I gave you my truthful, honest answer.
How's your finger?
It's fine. Injuries are fine.
Is it hard sometimes to analyze and digest a game when we're asking you what happened?
No, it's pretty easy, to be honest. You got to answer it quick, and you have time to sit around, and you got 15 minutes to kind of soak in, look at the stat sheet, and see what happened, and you have a feel for the game. I was out there the whole night, so it was just one of those games where it was a rough night, and we had a rough game, and it happens. Every night's not going to be perfect. It's not going to be pretty, and. We had one of those nights last night where just a testament to the overall game was a bad game for us.
You got Brooklyn, a team that you had just saw coming in tomorrow. How do you bounce back?
Well, we just got to go out there and do our job. I think, today was a good day for us mentally. We got some film work done. We got some offense done. We got some defense done. They coming off a big win last night, and we got to go out there and prepare for it, just to get better. We got to bounce back. 2 in a row losses for us are things we try to avoid.
When Jared goes off like he did the other game, do you take that at all personally?
Oh, man. The guy's going to score in this league. You know, of course, yes, I get mad that people score, but it's not always just on me. It's, you know, sometimes they just make plays, and, you know, a pick and roll comes, and a draw and kick comes, and we're in scramble mode sometimes. And, you know, it's funny because everybody just see, okay, he scored this amount of points. Oh, it must all have been a point guard. But at the end of the day, you know, there are other schemes that go on. And when I score on other guards, it's not always just on them. It's, you know, part of the game. People are going to score.